Welcome to this week's episode of ADHT with me, Donna, tea pioneer in the north of Scotland.
And me, Sarah, Weenie Mama, intuitive empowerment coach, speaker, author, and disabled mom of 3.5 kids.
The information shared in this podcast is lived experience and personal opinion. It does not constitute nor replace medical advice. ADHT, the podcast, are in no way legally responsible for any actions taken by anyone as a result of listening. The views expressed by any guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Sarah or Donna. Welcome to part 2 of our chat with Ashley from Dopamine Dolls. We went on many tangents and I decided to put our quickfire questions and our tangent after that into this other episode. So listen to our quickfire questions, and also we talk about ADHD and peeing, really. So just listen, you'll understand.
Maybe go to the toilet before you listen. Might be help.
Indeed. Okay, will we do our quick fire questions that we've only ever done once before?
Okay. I won't be quick, but I'll try. It's not yes, no, is it? Is it yes, no?
No,
Okay.
it's not.
No,
it's not.
caveat.
We'll just go with it, right? So, when you eat a meal, do you eat the best bit first, or do you leave it till last, like the best part, or something else?
Leave it till last. Or if it's gonna get cold, then I'll have it. But leave it till last.
Okay, yeah, I'm the same. When you open a parcel, do you hulk it open because who has time for scissors, or do you open it carefully?
So, I've got like a little blade thing that I like to use, but it's more that I would never wait to open it, right? Like, see people who are like, oh, there's a parcel and they put it at the side. I'm like, what? There's a parcel? Like, open it. Do you guys leave it at the side?
No,
Like,
people do that.
yeah, my partner will leave his deliveries and not open them for like sometimes, I'm not even lying, weeks.
What?
And I'm like, can I open it? Can I please open that? That needs to be opened immediately. Yeah.
I open parcels when they come in. It doesn't matter
It says,
for me or my partner.
I usually have to open it straight away because I've usually forgotten that I've ordered something. And I'm like, oh, what's this? It's like mystery parcel every day.
Oh yeah. When you ordered the last tea, you were like, you forgot you ordered the tea,
Yeah.
and they
I was like,
arrived.
oh yeah, coconut tea. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Okay, describe your perfect day.
Oh. That's hard. I like a long lie, right? I do like a long lie, but I'm learning as I get older that the mornings are a little bit chiller. So I'd like to like wake up about 7-ish. I get a cup of tea and I sit back in bed with my dog. Um, and then probably like I like to do like wild swimming or wandering about. I'm not a hill climber kind of gal, but I love to splash about in water. So probably like pack a wee picnic or something, go wild swimming, and then drive home listening to like the loudest heavy metal emo music ever. That's my perfect day. And then go home to a pizza. Done.
That sounds good. Okay, you can have 3 guests for dinner, living or not, but not like a zombie situation. Who do you choose?
Robin Williams, Sylvia Plath, and probably my mum. Yeah.
That can be really interesting conversations.
My mum's just really good at like winding people up and like I don't know, I think she'd end up getting like the best banter out of everyone. So she needs someone just to like make it more lively, probably. Not that Robin Williams wouldn't do that, but yeah.
Okay, that's it. I'm formulating another question, which is to do with going forward or back in time, but I have not formulated the question yet. But I think that could be it.
There's a whole thing about how do you visually see a calendar. Have you seen that? When you think about the calendar for the year, is it like January, February, March, and it's linear? Or do you go January, February, March? And then some people go to June and then up, and then December is like over here somewhere else. And it's so interesting to think about, like visually, what the
Oh,
calendar looks like.
Ooh, okay, maybe have to add that in.
It's probably a long-winded answer though, that one, but
Okay, well, how do you visualize the calendar then?
I visualize the calendar in two chunks where it's January to June, but then June and then again June is at the start of the next one to December. So June kind of appears twice because it exists in both the first and like second half of the year in my
that's
head.
I do it in two chunks as well.
Yeah. How do
Hmm.
you see it, Donna?
I don't know, actually. I have never thought about it before. I think it depends on what I'm visualizing it for.
Mm,
Like, because I need to, the only thing I really ever plan is events. Like, we know when I'm doing them. So I have kind of September, October, November, December, that's in one thing by itself because that's the kind of busiest time for events for me.
the season
And
of
then
it. Yeah.
Mhm. And then summer is usually quite quiet, so it's usually kind of like it's a little lump by itself. Yeah, it's in a circle. Um, but then spring I've got kind of separate as well. So March, April, May, probably April time, sort of the start of April. March, April, May. So May to like August time, maybe end of July. That's all the kind of in a circle. Maybe it's the sun. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this more. But yeah, that's when I'm planning events. I don't know other than that. I think I'll maybe have to sit down and think about it.
Yeah. Sounds like January and February don't really exist for you.
Yeah.
Why is that?
No, it's kind of like hibernation because there's no events. That's my life revolves around events.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. Hmm. That's a good one. Thank you for adding that
Brilliant.
into our
I love
little
that.
quick fire questions. It's not even a quick fire answer. I don't know.
It can be. It's a complicated question.
It is. It
Ask
is.
something like, how'd you like to eat your eggs or something like that.
Yeah. How many
Oh,
eggs have you
actually,
peeled
you
in
know
your
what's
life?
a really good one for neurodivergent people
Hmm.
is is there a food that you've eaten too much? What's the food you've eaten too much of that you won't eat anymore or something like that? Because you know how we've all like hyper
Oh,
focused on we
yeah.
can't.
See, now everybody talks about this whole hyper focus on food, and we actually spoke about this last time, didn't we, Sarah?
Yeah.
Um, and I have never got, there's a couple of foods that I have never got fed up of, and I've eaten them my whole life.
I have like so cucumber is my favorite food. Like to the point where instead of getting like a satsuma in my stocking, I get a cucumber in my stocking at Christmas.
Wow.
I love it. So I've never got sick of it, but like I have eaten too many eggs and then can't go near eggs. I had a big thing for stuffed mushrooms and I still, that was like 10 years ago and I still can't have a stuffed mushroom anymore. Like
Hmm.
there are things like that I've overdone and I can't.
Hmm.
Pesto, can't even have pesto anymore. Pate, can't do it anymore. Ruined it. I just ate it all the time and then I ruined it. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's curry pot noodle. I had so many curry pot noodles at uni that my skin actually I started to turn yellow. Like I was actually my skin was
What?
turning yellow. And even the
Wow.
The
smell of
puny
them
one
now
is
I'm like,
a good
"Ugh."
one.
They were
Quite
cheap.
sickly, that one.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
cheap. And like and then I just even this if I see one in the supermarket now, I'm like, can't even no.
I don't think I've ever had
Is there
one.
nothing is there nothing, Donna, where you're like, nah, I can't have that anymore?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
I think the thing
jealous.
is like I have a lot of digestive problems, so a lot of foods co equate to pain. Like grapes, for
Yeah.
example, I don't even really remember what grapes taste like because it just equals pain to me.
Wow.
Oh, that's so sad.
So I ha because of that, I was quite restricted to what I was eating. It's a lot better now
Mm.
because I understand my digestive system now and I work with it. Um, but yeah, because of all that, I had um not so great relationship with food, but that's really where it all stemmed from. Was because it caused pain.
Mm.
I used to think that people who liked grapes or like enjoyed eating grapes and offered me grapes were just sadistic because why would somebody want to go through that much pain?
Oh.
Oh, that sounds
That's okay. I don't eat grapes anymore, so we're good.
Mm. I do, there is a like a ADHD food like situation as well, and I don't think everyone experiences it, but I'm one of the forgets to eat, forgets to feel the body. Like my tummy's rumbling right now. I can't remember when
Oh
I
yeah.
actually ate today, and like I just don't remember. And then it gets to the end of the night, and I'm like, I have no capacity left to think about what's good for me. I just need to eat what's available, and then I'll eat too much of it and feel sick. I just It's a whole cycle that I think, again, I just can't seem to break out of it. Like I rationally know, but I leave myself to get that hungry that then the rationale is completely gone. Um, and I know for other people, it's that they just never even consider food
Hmm.
and they don't even notice their hunger cues at all. But my belly can get pretty loud. So,
No, I definitely don't notice my hunger cues. Like I don't even like so much so that I don't think I have them sometimes. Um, so yeah, I definitely have that issue. I think it was actually was it yesterday? Yeah, because I was feeling a little bit the best way I can put it is detached from reality for about the first half of the day, but then I realized it hit about like let's say for 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and I was like, I've actually had nothing to eat today. Is that why I'm feeling that? Because obviously it affects your brain as well. So I had some food and I definitely felt a little bit better. So-
yeah,
That's
it's
one
helpful. Like
thing.
partners can help with that, right? If you eaten, you're seeming grumpy. Have you eaten yet today?
Mhm.
Like, what's going on here? Like, that can be helpful when someone knows you well enough to kind of call it out. But when there's
Definitely.
no one there, I think I'm just a forget.
My husband is
Mhm.
like, I won't say regimented, but almost regimented about meal times and stuff. And then that's the other thing as well. The kids have to eat because they get really hungry if they don't eat at like set times. So that's even if I don't feel hungry or know what time it is and stuff, they'll remind me, okay, it's mealtime now. So that's one big plus of having kids because they're like little clocks when it comes to their stomach.
Yeah, it's interesting because we spoke earlier about how much we just hate structure. It's so boring.
Mhm.
And actually, like, there's those things in life, like children or work or whatever, that kind of give you the structure that otherwise you wouldn't have. And it can just sort of help find ways to manage rather than sort of feel in disarray all the time.
Yeah, definitely. Plus,
Mhm.
I always had, well, not always, but I had for about 10 years of my life chronic migraines from not eating and not hydrating properly and stuff. And I was hospitalized on three separate occasions with like severe dehydration and really bad migraines. So
Wow.
then now if I that's generally when I know that I haven't eaten, the headache will start and then the fear kicks in of like, okay, so then I have to make sure that I eat because I just won't go back there again because it's like the trauma of it all.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I used to be even worse for not like keeping hydrated. In fact, the only reason why I keep hydrated now is because of tea. Like
Mhm.
I really enjoy it, and I sit down and I spend time with it and I will drink a lot of tea a day, but that's the only reason why I'm hydrated because I enjoy it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it's quite hard to. I struggle to remember to hydrate and like buy all the bottles. I've got loads of bottles, right, and things like that, and buy fun flavored things. But it still sits there a lot of the time, and I forget about it. I don't know how many teas I make that go cold, and I'm annoyed about it because it's a good tea bag or something. But yeah, and I think the next bit for me that I struggle with is going to the bathroom. Like I literally don't know I need to go until I'm gonna pee myself.
Hmm.
Almost always.
Hmm.
Um, and like I remember when I was wee, it'd be like, oh, do you need to go? Do you need to go? And I'd be like, nah, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then we'd start driving. And it'd be like, oh, for God's sake, Ashley needs the toilet. That was my whole sort of childhood. But like, I just don't get the cue for it until I'm like absolutely bursting, which
Hmm.
is like
Hmm.
really hard when you've got like work meetings and traveling and all those sorts of things. And I think I've kind of caused, I don't know if I've caused it, but I've got an issue with my bladder and it acts like, people have IBS. So my bladder has, I guess, an irritable bladder, and it's called interstitial cystitis. And I basically get like cramping in my bladder, and it can like cramp up when I'm peeing, but it can just be cramping in general. Um, and I'll also like get the sensation of cystitis and all that sort of stuff as if I have maybe a UTI when I don't. And it
Mm.
all kind of comes from, I think, probably my inability to understand my bladder until it's like too late, and I'm like, it's struggling with itself. I've been really lucky to have like some treatment on the NHS that solved it, and I don't have any of the or much of the cramping anymore. But I still don't know when I need to go pee until I need to go and pee. And I wish I did. Like, and the other part of that is the inability to get out of bed when I actually need to go. And like, it's the only thing that sometimes gets me up in the morning is that I need to go to the toilet. Otherwise, I just couldn't.
Same,
Yeah.
same, same. I actually have, when you're saying about like, when you're a kid and like, it's like, do you need to go to the toilet? I have started treating myself like a child just in the past year because I've like, sometimes I'll leave the house and I'm like, there's no toilet for, another hour, half an hour walk. I can't deal with this. So I will be like, don't care, even if I don't need to go pee, I'm going to go before I leave the
Yes,
house.
I do that
So I've
too.
just been doing that and it's made a huge difference actually.
I do
I
that
need to do
too.
that. I usually get in the car, start driving, and I'm like, damn, I should have gone to the toilet.
But no, it's really, really helped. And because it's part of the routine of leaving the house as
Yeah,
well, it also helps me to kind of go, okay, no, I do need to take these other things with me as well. So instead of going, I'm panicking that do I have all the things and then leaving the house and then coming back and then leaving the house and then coming back for whatever it is, it's actually helped with that as well for some reason. I'm not sure why.
that's
Um,
habit stacking is really what that is. So if you've got a habit in place, like I'm going to leave the house, I'm going to grab my phone, and then you go, well, what other thing could I add to that? And then because it's something you're naturally already doing, it's easier to build the habit into your
mm,
routine. So it's probably a bit of that that's happening for you.
yeah, yeah,
My
Hang on.
leaving the
yeah,
house and the toilet routine, I have exactly the same thing where I must go to the bathroom before I leave the house, but mine's slightly more over the top than yours because I have to go 3 times.
Three.
It has to be 3 times. And even my daughter, my daughter said on Sunday morning, she was like, wait, everybody, we can't leave yet. Mum's only been to the toilet twice. She's noticed, and I didn't say anything. I haven't said, but she's noticed that I go 3 times before I leave. She's like, wait, everybody, Mum needs to go to the toilet one more time before we can leave. She's only 6 and she's noticed. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Amazing.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's
I don't know where
that's
the three
great.
thing has come from, but yeah, if I don't, and even going to bed, like if I haven't gone to the toilet like 3 times in kind of like the hour before I go to bed, I'll be up 10 minutes after I lie down again. It's like, oh,
Which is a torture, right?
it
That's the
is.
way to torture
Yeah.
me is
Yeah.
to tuck me into bed when I need the toilet. Like
Hmm.
the
Mhm.
rage. I hate it.
Yeah, I have previously lain there for like 2 hours when I've just gone to bed and I'm like, I'm not getting up. I'm nice and
Yes.
cozy in bed. I am not getting up.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I am in so much pain.
Yes. And then you try to convince yourself that you're just gonna fall off to sleep without actually needing to go. It's like, no, this is not gonna work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also struggle with is people who like again like my partner will get up and he won't go to the toilet for hours and I'm like I can't understand how you've not gone to the toilet yet.
When he wakes up and straight away.
Yeah, like I can't
Yeah,
even
I
get
don't
a
get
dog
that
out.
either.
I need to go first, or else
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
in the kitchen. Like, there's no way. Like,
Exactly.
he could be like, "Yeah, it's 12 o'clock, and I'm going to do my first pee of the day," and I'm like, "How? How's that?"
Crazy.
Wild.
My kids can go to get up in the mornings, brush their teeth, standing like in the bathroom, brush their teeth, go have their breakfast, go to school, and go to the toilet for the first time in school. And I'm like,
Wow.
how, like, what? Yeah,
What a different life people are living.
I know. Must be so freeing.
I love the tangents I've just led you guys down tonight.
It's
Yeah.
making me feel really like validated because I thought these were just me things.
No.
But that's why we have these conversations. That's why we started the podcast, Sarah, remember.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, yeah. And I suppose especially things like this, it's not really spoken about a lot as well. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of potential shame
Yeah.
around it, so yeah, I
Or
think the
like,
more
or not knowing as well, right? Like when you were saying
mm,
people who I thought people who eat grapes like were like
hmm
sadists because like the reality is they're going to be in pain. That's not normal. You just don't know it's not the norm.
exactly.
Yeah.
Hmm
And if we talk about it and actually people can hear that it's pretty normal, in our world anyway. That's why in
Hmm.
dopamine dolls we have a break in the middle, and I always say remember to go to the toilet, because I just know that's part of our brains.
Yeah.
No, no, yeah, it is. I mean, I think that's the other thing. So when I say about the whole like IBS, the grape stuff, and a lot of people who are, especially if they're not neurodivergent, they're just like, what? And then it's I try and preface it with like, it's sorted out now, or mostly. Um, and I'm not looking for sympathy. That's not the thing. It's more like I'm talking about it so that if somebody else, even if they're overhearing my conversation, they might be like, wait a minute, this is what I would experience. Is this not normal? And they, even something like that, or somebody else that's part of the conversation that maybe is like I am when I don't know people, you know, if it helps somebody like that, then yeah, it makes
Yeah,
it worthwhile.
absolutely. I think shame robs us all of like connection and understanding, and it'd be nice if we could remove shame from a lot more things. But it's those gentle sort of microwaves that are important. Sounds like I said microwaves. I meant ways. It's important, right? It's everyday things. Because when I
Definitely.
was younger, I thought everyone had sore peas. Because I remember when I was wee, like we watched like Billy Connolly or somebody like that, and he'd talk about people having sore poos, and everyone laughed, and I was like, all right, yeah, because everyone has sore poos, and everyone must also have sore peas like me then, right? And that's what I thought for a really long time. Turns out most people don't pee and it hurts. Like, who knew, right? But until I actually voiced it and then heard that that's not the norm, Billy Connolly said that everyone has sore poos, so I was just
Yeah.
assuming, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we need to have it in those sort of small ways, and bring reality into the world sometimes where it's missing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay. Well, we don't want to keep you for too long because we were only supposed to be an hour and then we're also over the hour.
I think that's probably me more than you guys.
Oh no, we go
No,
on
it's awesome.
tangents too. But yes, thank you so much for coming on and chatting into us about like all the things that we were on tangents about.
Peas and poos.
Um, yes, yes. Um, is there anything that you want to say to any listeners? Where can people find you? How can they support you?
Well, first of all, thanks so much for having me on. And for the listeners that probably don't know, I actually forgot that we were meant to be recording last week. So just to lift some shame here, I can forget things too, and it's embarrassing, but that's the reality of my brain. So sorry again, and thank you so much for creating the space for me to join in. Um, and in terms of finding dopamine dolls, we're on Instagram and Facebook at dopamine dolls. And we have a website, dopaminedolls.co.uk. Um, and we are Highland based, mostly in Inverness, because that's the nature of the Highlands, sadly, as things revolve around one city. We
Mhm.
do offer online support groups, usually in the winter, so people from all over can join. But we do have a retreat coming up, and everyone is welcome to join in. It should be advertised on our social media next week, and should be a really nice way for us to kind of connect as a community. And yeah, it's a bit of a self growth practice, but it's also going to be a bit of a community growth practice as well. So hopefully people enjoy it. But yeah,
It
that's it.
sounds incredible. It sounds so good. I really wish I could come along.
I know I'm sad you're not going to be there, but next I'll give you way more notice next time.
Okay. Okay.
Promise.
Sounds good.
It'll still clash.
Hopefully not. But yes, thank you so much for coming on. And there is absolutely no shame in forgetting because you're in this same company. We have forgotten a lot before. So.
I've said to Donna before, see you in 10 minutes, and then went away and forgotten on calls. Remember, we were supposed to go on the, like, on the, was it one of the, I don't know what call it was. I was like, yeah, yeah, I'll be there. It's like
Yes.
in 10 minutes time. And then the next day I was like, oh my
Yep.
goodness.
And
So
she
yeah.
sent me a voice note at like 10 a.m. the next day going, um, I'm still
Yeah.
alive, but
That's amazing. That is amazing. And these types of stories, right? Like that's kind of what Dopamine Dolls is all about. It's just sharing them and yeah, connecting with them and giving the people a place to sort of air that out and have someone laugh and be like, yeah, I totally get that. That's
hmm
amazing.
hmm hmm
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you again.
No, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Go eat something now because I'm really conscious you said about half an hour ago you were
Yeah.
hungry. So please go eat.
And go pee as well.
Oh yeah, I should probably do that first.
Thank you very much for listening to this week's episode of ADHT, the podcast. If you have any questions or anything, please drop us an email. We are going to be taking a break because Sarah is on maternity leave. We will be back. We're aiming for September, but we will see. Watch this space. If you do have any questions or anything like that, please email us. You can also subscribe on Substack as well, so you don't miss anything. And we will also have some blog posts coming out too.
So Donna, we have a question in here from a lovely listener, Ellen, and she said that in the last episode of Just Sip, or shorter episodes, I mentioned about having my evening cup of tea and how it's really important to me and a real part of my routine now that I won't sacrifice. And she said that when she first realized that she had ADHD and she read something about the signs of ADHD, one of the signs of ADHD being able to drink caffeine late at night without it affecting your sleep, which I hard relate to. So her question to us and really to you, because I can't speak to this because it's not my personal experience. She was under the impression that when you get on medication, you shouldn't drink tea or coffee in the evening. Has this been your experience? And if so, what would you recommend instead of an evening cuppa?
Okay, this is a good question, and it's kind of mildly amused me because of an experience I had when I was speaking to psychiatrists when I think it was just after I got diagnosed. And they were explaining to me what medication and everything. Just I am on medication and they were offering it to me. And I also have to say I was very against it at first due to a lot of stigma around it. Anyway, it's not for everyone and not everybody can take it, but it does help me. So, one of the things that the psychiatrist actually said to me was that I couldn't have caffeine because it's the medication that I've been given is a stimulant and it can increase blood pressure and so can caffeine. And I think that that's the main thing. That was the impression that I got. That was what I was told. Again, my personal experience. At that point, I almost stood up and walked out the door.
This conversation is over.
Like literally, I said, "I'm sorry, that's a make or break. If I
Yeah.
can't have tea, then I'm not doing this." And they were like, "Oh, what about like a rooibos tea?" And they obviously they didn't realize how much tea I drink and what tea I drink and all the things. I was like, absolutely, that's fine, but that's not my tea. So this is a make or break. If I can't do that, then I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, 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 almost like a chill out now type of thing. That's I think that's what they wanted to say to me because I was
You don't understand.
literally like about to get up. So I spoke to them and then they were like, right, well, we're obviously I got blood pressure taken and you get an ECG and everything as well because it can affect blood pressure and it can affect heart rate. And I am lucky, it's not really lucky. I have really low blood pressure naturally. So it's pushed me into a normal range,
Wow.
my medication. So drinking caffeine literally just does exactly the same as it ever always has done for me, like not much. It
Yeah.
makes me tired sometimes. So, yeah, that's basically my experience. But again, everybody's going to be different. Obviously, if you've got kind of blood pressure issues or kind of, any kind of issues like that, you need to make sure that you're keeping an eye on it. And if you feel anything, obviously, if you're taking medication, you are being given these tests anyway. They keep a really close eye on you. So yeah, just listen to your doctors. Although that almost
He
made me
says
walk out the
after
door.
having not listened to
Yeah,
hers.
exactly. Yeah, I know, I know. Um, but yeah, if you're looking for something that's not got any caffeine or anything like that in it, go for like a herbal infusion. Now, I've heard really good things, and actually, drinking Siren's Clarity, one of my blends, I've like I've had a lot of really good feedback on having that as a sort of evening drink as well. And you are obviously, Sarah,
Yes.
you're obviously kind of a convert as well. But yeah, Siren's Clarity is actually really good for that from what I've been told and also my personal experience. And again, I don't want to. Nighttime tea can be quite kind of difficult because it can contain things that can interact with other things. So you'll need to be really careful about using any kind of nighttime teas. Again, speak to your doctor if you are worried about things interacting. But yeah, that's my long-winded story, completely being a hypocrite, contradicting myself in what I was saying there. That's great. There we go. Story of my brain. So I hope that makes sense. I hope it wasn't too long-winded and that you're still with us. So, but thank you very much for sending that in, Ellen. And we will catch you all next time. We do have one more episode for you guys until Sarah comes back.
Till I come back.
thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of ADHT. Let us know what you think about our voice note podcast episodes. Once Sarah goes on maternity leave, these might become more common. That's okay though. We will see what we can do about improving sound quality as well. If you would love to share any takeaways with us, we'd love to hear from you. You can find us on Threads at ADHT the podcast. Tag us if you like. And you can also email us on adhthepodcast@gmail.com.